This is AC Starlord, aka Awesome. Welcome back to my channel and this new vlog for Masters of the Universe, aka He-Man. I got the power. I got the power. I can't wait for this movie. This is gonna be awesome. I prepped for this movie. I always loved this franchise, the toys, the cartoons, everything. It's a little wild. I might give you guys reviews for the original one, and then I might give you guys a late review for um for Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe of He-Man. But welcome to this vlog. This is the intro to the vlog. I'm gonna give you some of those things, and then we'll do some cool things during the week. Um, I even might show off a something for a future movie coming pretty soon, Supergirl. Um, I might get the hardback graphic novel if I can, but I also might show you some cool pop here some this week. I might do some cool things like going to work and coming back home from work, and then what I do at home on a daily basis, and then go see the movie, and then possibly show you going to my friend's house to end this vlog. Um, but this is gonna be awesome. I also might attach the second review of the very first original movie. Maybe talk a little bit more about the original movie on here too. Um, so this is the intro to the Masters of the Universe vlog. I can't wait for this movie. I'm gonna go see it some maybe AMC or Cinemark. I don't know yet. I haven't figured that out. I might get my tickets early. So I can't wait to see this movie. This is gonna be awesome. Stick tuned to this. Um, yeah, Masters of the Universe. This is my second review for Masters of the Universe from hold on. Hold on. Masters of the Universe. Masters of the Universe. 1987. This film, only though I only seen it once, I watched other reviews on it, and what I learned from this one was not originally made after made for the cartoon or made after the cartoon or whatever, vice versa. This one was just to sell toys, but also made by made by Patel to um sell toys. Now, sell toys, but it was very weird. That's very weird because the reason why I say that is because in this opening in this movie, I think it was made by the same production company that also did Star Wars. No, no, same production company that did Superman. My bad. Star Wars is in the story, but it's also the same production company that made Superman, or some of the people that made Superman, because the beginning of this had a super beginning of this of where it says Masters of the Universe had a music on the opening of this movie similar to Superman. Like some of the music in there had Eternia music, but had its own Superman theme with it. It had a mix of Superman in it, and it's very weird. And this was just basically this is basically supposed to be Star Wars for Masters of the Universe. Like this is Mattel's Star Wars. That's we're trying to sell toys. But the thing is, those toys that we're selling were He-Man, Tila, That one right, that little weird creature right there, and Skeletor, and the rest of the villains were except Beastman there behind me were also then the new characters are the only ones they were selling. But the weird fact to me is this movie is more about Skeletor taking over Eternia and then also following Julie and her boyfriend and Jersey, and then you finally get He-Man in the story where you see little clips here and clips here and there of He-Man, and he doesn't even turn into Adam. My bad. My review I said his name was Eric, I think, but my bad on that. His name is Adam, and you don't see Adam. They wanted to keep him as He-Man the whole freaking movie, which was really weird. I just don't understand why we focus so much on the human characters on Earth, and then the rest of the movie was on Earth as well. Like we didn't need we didn't need to have him in New York. First of all, we didn't need to stay in New York, and then we didn't really need to worry about Julie, who was played by Courtney Cox, I think, young Courtney Cox. Don't quote me on that, but we didn't need to focus all on that and her dead parents, and then have her parents reappear at the end of this and in this movie because they helped He-Man out, and that little wizard right there said, "Hey, you get to see your parents again." This movie had everything going for it, and other reviews on it, I saw like some people loved one reviewer, I have two just recently loved it for the fact of how cheesy it is. This movie is very cheesy, but I hope they do something different and unique and awesome for the new one. And also saying that new one is what's this art? The new one is they're saying what's the audience for? Like who is this audience for? How much money is going to make in the box office? People shouldn't be worried about that. The same thing with Supergirl. They're saying that it's going to flop. Blah blah blah. It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, someone's going to see this. Someone's going to love Masters Universe and Supergirl and all that stuff. I'm going to enjoy the. I enjoyed this one, but this one is just a little bit too cheesy. I just didn't know what I was watching. Why were they seduced like the samurai? Why was Tila and Man at Arms, aka Woman at Arms, as well, Tila called herself that, and He-Man and the rest of the evil gang and the rest of the evil people and Skeletor and also seduced down like the samurais and Ninja Turtles 3. This is literally what it is, Ninja Turtles 3. But Skeletor, most of the film stays in Eternia, and then you're following, He-Man on Earth, and they get stuck there because of the little portal machine they had. Like this reminds me of Ninja Turtles 3. It literally reminds me of Ninja Turtles 3. And now Ninja Turtles, that's fine for the first two films. They're in New York, and Ninja Turtles go, oh, let's flip this around. Let's get the samurais from ancient Japan and put them in New York, modern New York, while we put the turtles in their own version of Eternia, which is ancient Japan. This was get He-Man and Tila Man at Arms, this little wizard looking dude, and the rest of the goons of Skeletor with He-Man on Earth and New York and New Jersey eating fried chicken, and trying to find a way out. Like it doesn't make any sense. But then again, back in 1987, it probably did. But the YouTuber I was watching loved this movie for what it is. And like I said in my first review, there is someone that loves it for what it is. I mean, I only have this rented for only 30 days on Amazon. So I should rewatch it again, but I'm probably not going to revisit it again because it really doesn't need to be revisited unless I revisit for the first movie. I mean, the new first movie, because here's the thing. The new one I'm looking forward to because that's actually legitly probably take more place from the cartoon than anything. But also, this movie should have been called Masters. It could have been called He-Man: The Masters of the Universe, like the cartoon. Same thing, like the new one should be called He-Man: The He-Man: The Masters of the Universe. And then He-Man uses a gun most of the time in this movie. He uses a gun most of the time in this movie. He doesn't use his sword. When he does use a sword, he uses it with Skeletor's final form of being the master of the universe for temporarily. And then he uses a sword here and there, but like you're shooting up people with your blaster, and you have the rest of the goons, the rest of the soldiers, or aka goons of Skeletor, look like stormtroopers. I wonder why, because they're trying to make this like Star Wars for Mattel. I mean, the Barbie movie did better than the Barbie did better job with their source material than they had with this one. Now, the new one might check out to do good with their source material. Let's hope. 'Cause I don't know how you can mess up. I don't know how you can mess up anything like this. Then again, it's also the same question. Who's the audience for the new one? I mean, me and some other people that grew up watching it. It's also like making a live action Beetleborgs movie, if they ever did one. Who's going to see that? Me and my other friend Christian, probably, and some other people that grew up on it and like the cheesiness of that. But we know that's cheesy. But this wasn't supposed to be cheesy. I mean, I don't think this movie should have been cheesy. I mean, for the fans, this one should have been in 1987, should have been peak for them. Now, again, I'm not trashing on it. I'm not trying to make it negative, but this is also should have been peak, and it is peak for them. For some, that think it is peak, but for me, this is just what's called mediocre. They could have done better. I enjoyed aspects of this, but again, like I said, Ninja Turtles, they did Ninja Turtles treatment for it, Ninja Turtles 3 treatment, and Ninja Turtles 3 treatment for me, and Ninja Turtles 3 is not the greatest. And if you give a movie this kind of treatment, like this one and any others, yeah, it's, it's kind of also like Space Jam, but I'll put Space Jam a little bit higher. Both Space Jams a little bit higher. This is just pretty much Ninja Turtle treatment. Ninja Turtle 3. And Ninja Turtle 3 is the weakest of that franchise because I've seen it multiple times. Now, if they did let's say like they did an anniversary, like they did the first two, I would go see it for sure. But it ain't strong with me for sure. Ain't strong in this person's force. And that ain't the way, you know what I'm saying? But I would love to see this in theaters too for anniversary. Why not? That'd be interesting to see this on the big screen and see how many fans show up for this one. I dare theaters. At theaters, you're watching this YouTube channel. I dare you to put this Masters of the Universe in theaters for a temporary time to promote the new Masters of the Universe. Or when this movie does have an anniversary, I don't know if this movie's going to have an anniversary, but if this movie does have an anniversary, put it in theaters. Either choice you have. Put this one in theaters before, like the week before, or the day before this one comes out and have it lead up, like have it on a Thursday night and then have a midnight premiere of the new one. And then two people, then you can see two different versions, and you have fans that grew up in the cartoons or comic books or whatever they grew up on of knowing of the toys, of knowing of Masters of the Universe or aka He-Man the Master of the Universe, then they can talk about it. I don't hate this one. I enjoyed aspects of it. I just wish it was more. I think I wish it was more or less of a Skeletor first half, and then going to meet Julie and her boyfriend and her, and talking about how they grew apart, and she needs to move away because of her parents die in a plane crash, and you finally get some He-Man action with Tila, Woman at Arms, and Man at Arms, and that little um wizard thing, and then the wizard saying, "Oh, I didn't know you're a music master," to the boyfriend and stuff, trying to get them back, and then like He-Man becoming a slave for a temporary time, and then having Skeletor have a long evil speech. The things I liked about it was the action, and then attempting to go back to Eternia, and then also them bringing the battle to New York a little bit, but it doesn't really fit, but just a little bit. That's the part all I have to say about part two of this review. I didn't want to say everything in the first one, but this is it for the part two of this one. So if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I have a movie review for this one and Obsession and Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow comic book and or graphic novel and other reviews on here. And there'll be slowly other ones on here pretty soon here. Maybe Back Rooms or maybe Last Action Hero or Dodge or you don't know. There might be some stuff on here. But anyways, if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces. This is AC Starlord, aka Austin, and this is a mini review for the first season of He-Man the Master of the Universe and also part of the He-Man, well, part of the Master of the Universe vlog that I'm creating for the new movie this week. So the first episode basically starts out with Skeletor finding a crystal of disappearance, and he wants to use it on He-Man and his friends and stuff and whatnot. And he gets all his goons like Cyclops, some Fish Man, Beast Man, um, the evil wizard, Evila, and then he teams all of them up and Lockjaw, and then Tila and Man-at-Arms and Orbo and He-Man and Battlecat try to ruin his plans, obviously, and save the day. And that's exactly what they do. And that's kind of cool because you know why? It's in old cartoon form because as you can see behind me, that it's the old Castle Grayskull and him saying I have the power. And once he says I have the power, it's kind of cool. Like he's Prince Adam most of the time on the show, and then he's protecting his father and the Man at Arms and Tila and Warcat and his cat's I think I don't know his regular cat's name, but it's just a regular cat. Um, they go out and save the day and save Eternia from Skeletor. But what I liked about this was the angles of Skeletor, like and Beastman, like they will be up on the they since it's an old show, they have bars like this, but they'll be on the edge of they'll be on the edge of the screen like this, talking on the edge of their mouth like this. And it's kind of cool how they have them like that for a brief moment and second in time. Um, also liked about this cartoon, it's just an old classic cartoon. It's just a good old time. You can sit there and watch it, and it's on Amazon Prime. It's also on Tubi, but if you want to watch it from there, but it's just a good old show, and I like it. Now, I am later on somewhere this week going to review the one that's on from Kevin Smith that not have I have never had a chance to review, but because I was so hyped to watch it, and there was another one on Netflix too, but it's not made by Kevin Smith. I might venture out and watch that one, but not probably not. I just only want to watch the original one and and then the Kevin Smith one I can talk about because I remember that one. Um, but if you watch this, I even have a little ornament of this of He-Man. If you watch this when you're younger, or if you're like my dad's age and you watched it back then, that's pretty cool. I mean, it's a pretty cool, solid cartoon. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed everything about it. So that's been my mini review for He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, and I might do a couple more episode reviews on this, but just to know that this is also going to be in the vlog too. So if you don't see it on my YouTube, you haven't seen it on my YouTube yet, then you can also watch it in the vlog a little bit later when I post the vlog after I see the movie, of course. Which also the original movie review on my channel also. So this is a mini review for Masters of the Universe. Now, Masters of the Universe or He-Man Masters of the Universe. It's interesting at the very end of the episode that they have He-Man go in there and explain what the lesson was of the episode, kind of like how Dora the Explorer did it, or Diego, or Blue's Clues, kind of like that. But this was like before all that, you know, and like you only see that in those kind of shows, like I said, Blue's Clues, Dora the Explorer, Diego, like PBS kids shows, Barney, all that stuff. But it was kind of interesting to see it in He-Man, and the fact that you can see what the whole story was about and what Skeletor was trying to do, and what, hey, if you see these things or you have seen these things, or if this is about greed and blah 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 blah, he shows up at the very end of that and explains it, and that's kind of cool, kind of amazing. I know it's been a long time since I've seen the original one, but the one with Kevin Smith, you don't see that, and I'll talk about that on further on YouTube, the review of that one, and then still do a vlog like this. This is part of the vlog, by the way. I'm at work, so yeah. Spider-Man Noir. Spider-Man Noir was fantastic. I only watched the first episode in black and white, and like I said in my review, big giant review on YouTube, that black and white shows more realism for anything really, even especially in the comic book world. And Spider-Man Noir is an interesting character. I mean, it's Spider Noir, that's what the show's called, but it's Spider-Man Noir, and he's a private detective, you know, checking out things, taking photos like private investigators do. It's a crime show. When I was watching this, I was picturing my one of my best friends. She loves shows like, you know, people solving crimes and like, you know, Judge Judy and stuff like that, but also like true crime shows and people solving crimes. And this is on the borderline of like kind of those things, true crime and everything, but it's more like a private investigator solving crimes, also being a superhero at the same time, being Spider-Man, and it has that noir film style to it. Even Nicolas Cage spoke that way in the show. I didn't say that in my original review, but he speaks that way. Now it's time to see the colored version of the first episode and see which one I want to watch more, the black and white one or the colored one. Because I do love the color. I mean, I do love black and white, like, you know, Clerks 1, and then some other Wonderful Life and some other ones, and especially Logan. So yeah. Got done eating dinner with a really good friend from church, and you used to see him a lot, but he doesn't go as much to that church. But we were talking about war stories, good, bad, in between, and it was great. And it was a great time catching up, hanging out, doing all that, talking about things that we enjoy talking or about different situations. But also, I'm only 2 more days closer. Not only 2 more days, but then after tomorrow will be only 1 more day closer to He-Man or Masters Universe, which also tomorrow I need to get a shirt for it, a hot topic. But speaking of this, Prince Adam has really good friends that he goes to battle with, and I have really good friends that I go to battle with. So it's pretty cool. Similarities. I like that. So, can't wait. But today at work was great, but tonight was great to catch up. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say. Oh, sure. My bad. That's how filmmakers make their films, bro. So I picked this up the other day, Supergirl. Um, Pop figure for the new Supergirl movie that's coming out later this month, actually in June 26th. I also got one for a friend of mine. I'm so excited to have this one because I tried to find Corn Sweat, but I can't find Corn Sweat. But I found Millie's pop figure of Supergirl, and there's several different ones of them. There's one with the dog. There's one with the trench coat with an alien. One her flying, and then there's Lobo, and then there's the girl Ruth E, and then the bad guy. Ruth E's actually in the comic. It's based off of the comic I just finished, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. So, cool pop figure. Glad I have it. Work again, but there's a mini review for Masters of the Universe or He-Man Masters of the Universe with Kevin Smith. Now, Kevin Smith did one on Netflix a while back, and it's very, very, very good. You got Mark Hamill to play Skeletor. You don't got the original voice playing Skeletor. He-Man! Like that. You don't have that guy. But would Kevin Smith's one be better if it had his voice in it? Probably. But Mark Hamill was great. Mark Hamill was a genius role for that. We have the ups and downs of Skeletor getting what he wants and not, and then you have the ups and downs of what He-Man saves the day or doesn't save the day type of thing. Kevin Smith had a really good heart to it. You can tell that he was a fan of this franchise, and he is a fan of this franchise. He's a fan of also Superman and Supergirl and The Flash, and that's why I saw him do some stuff on CW. But this is another show that that's why those other shows I mentioned, because this is not his only show he did. But this show, you definitely can tell he was a fan of, and that's pretty much all I gotta say about it. I mean, I can't wait to see the movie tonight. I'm seeing the movie tonight at 10. Can't wait. So that's all I gotta say about Kevin Smith's version. It's on Netflix. I still believe it's on Netflix. There's another version of this, of He-Man Master Universe, but it's not Kevin Smith, but it's a different version of it. That's also on Netflix, but I think Kevin Smith is still on Netflix. You can check it out. It's really good. So I loved it and I enjoyed it. You can tell he was a super fan. This is the AC Starlord, aka Austin, and this is going to be a short little mini review. I did one for Snapchat, but I couldn't get that through. I would highly recommend you seeing this movie right here, and I'm about to get it. Hold up. This is the little plate they gave us at the theater for Masters of the Universe. I highly recommend you see this movie. Skeletor up here. Skeletor was played by Jared Leto. No more making fun of him playing in Tron or in Morbius or whatnot. There's no Morbin time. He does a fantastic job of the voice of Skeletor. He also might have been actually Skeletor in the film, but I'm not sure myself. But the voice he does pretty awesome. He does it from serious tone to the same silly, funny tone that you see in the cartoon and Toy Line and everything like that, but keeps it more serious. He-Man was fantastic. The guy who played He-Man is fantastic. Teela was good. I recognized her for Riverdale, playing Veronica Lodge. So there's a little story there. And then you obviously know that Idris Elba was Man-at-Arms. He did a fantastic job. Everyone did a fantastic job. And this movie, don't want to say too much of it. I want to do a full-length review. Everyone in this movie did a good job, but they did a very good job of the source material of what they're following for this movie right here, Masters of the Universe, that I saw last night. I know they had some early fan screenings, so if you did see that one, you're way ahead of me, but that's fine. I got this cool little thing. I got a cup with it too. I thought it was a good one. I thought it was a little bit better than the original one from 1987. But that's all I'm going to leave it off with, and then I'll do a full length review probably tomorrow.